The series between the Spurs and the Timberwolves is one of the best showcases of modern offenses and defenses that the NBA has seen. If you don't think so, hopefully in the next few minutes you'll change your mind. From the added physicality that both teams have had towards their star players to the masterclass of team defense that both teams implement, there is so much to learn based on how these teams play. Coming off of Game 5, we can see the Spurs are out ahead and with good reason. In this video, we're going to go over how the Spurs use their star center alongside their exceptional guards to post some of the best offense we've seen and hold the Timberwolves to some of their lowest numbers of the season. One of the best models to use for modern defense is that a good zone looks like a man and a good man looks like a zone. Here, I want you to look at how, despite the Spurs playing man defense, tactical switching lets them play kind of like a zone. As Victor Wembanyama gets switched into the wrong places, the Spurs will coordinate switches to put him back down low where he can guard the paint. This is one of the most exceptional things a team can do when they have 5 good defending guards and a strong center. Here, as Victor Wembanyama is taken into the pick and roll, he points to say that his man is being left, and that if the ball is swung, either Stephon Castle or Devin Vassell is going to have to rotate over and take his man. As the ball gets moved, Wemby's goal is to stay as the low man. Because of this, he tells Stephon Castle to take the first ball as it's moved, then gets placed on Julius Randle in the corner. As Randle rotates out of the play and Nasri gets the ball, Wemby waits, and then once the play moves away from Julius Randle, he switches again, which is communicated through the Spurs guards. Here's another example where as Carter Bryant gets caught on screens trying to defend Anthony Edwards, Luke Kornet quickly switches on to him. Carter Bryant comes racing back and the entire Spurs defense moves to account for the screens. These kinds of plays are why they are still good without Wemby on the floor. Here's another example where as the Timberwolves run this double pin down action to get Anthony Edwards the ball, Wembanyama will double from the weak side corner. Keldon Johnson switches out to take the nearest man, and despite the Timberwolves getting open Naz Reid in the corner due to all the switching, because the Spurs are so good at closing out, it leads to no advantage. And they were doubling Anthony Edwards all game. Here, as Rudy Gobert runs the handoff for Anthony Edwards, Vassell is first going to try to ice, and then as the pick and roll happens, Kornet is going to come and trap, and then as Anthony Edwards gets flustered, he can lose the ball, which leads to an open transition layup for Keldon Johnson. The Spurs also pride themselves on their transition offense and defense. As the Timberwolves break out in transition, I want you to count the amount of Spurs jerseys there are here. There's almost never an advantage in transition due to how fast everyone runs back. Mitch Johnson has also done a great job of utilizing each one of the guards' abilities to both shoot and get in the paint to create a flowing offense with great rotations. One of the biggest problems teams have when trying to put multiple people in the paint is spacing. The Spurs solve this by having each player rotate to keep the spacing consistent as one player drives. The first thing I want you to notice here is Julian Champagnie clearing out as Wemby drives, then De'Aaron Fox and Stephon Castle lifting to create space for Julian Champagnie's rotation, and then as Wembanyama kicks out, Stephon Castle is able to operate on a closeout, gets a drive, which leads to an open Wembanyama 3. Here's another example in transition where while this looks like just a normal Stephon Castle drive, the rotations of the other Spurs players are what makes it possible. First, he tells Carter Bryant to clear out to give him space to drive, and if we go back, we can see Devin Vassell's rotation is what makes this all possible as he rotates along the baseline, and then as Carter Bryant clears out, Dylan Harper signals to Devin Vassell to keep going. His lift to the wing is what gives Stephon Castle so much room. Here's another example where as De'Aaron Fox and Wemby run a pick and roll, Wemby's going to roll to the basket, Harrison Barnes is going to lift to make room for him on the 3-point line, Julian Champagnie is going to recognize the overcommitment on the strong side corner, lift to the wing, get the ball, pass it back to De'Aaron Fox, which lets Wemby get an open alley-oop dunk because the Spurs' early rotations left no one in the gaps to stop Fox's drive and left no one as the low man to stop Wemby's dunk. Another thing the Spurs were capitalizing on was transition offense. So as Wembanyama gets the rebound here, you don't even see Julian Champagnie due to how fast he sprints up the floor, and his sprinting to the corner lets him get an open 3 on Wemby's drive. And so if we took a look at where he came from, you could see he was the one contesting the 3 that was shot on the other side. And this is just a testament to Mitch Johnson's coaching. If you're an outlet in transition and you aren't sprinting to the corner, you are making mistakes and you are wasting points. Coming back to an earlier play, as Wemby gets this rebound, he immediately passes it to the furthest guard he can. And then as De'Aaron Fox and Carter Bryant sprint down the court, they can get an open three that way too. And if we pay attention, we can see that it is literally as soon as each Spur realizes that they have the defensive rebound, they're sprinting down the court. This is great discipline by the Spurs. These weren't just 1-off or 2-off plays either. As Julius Randle misses this shot, you could see that Devin Vassell sprints to the right corner, Carter Bryant sprints to the left corner, and Dylan Harper sprints down the middle, which gives them so many options. And the only way to stop this is if each Timberwolf were to sprint back with them. The Spurs also have a stellar playbook, and each player knows how to make improvisations on the fly to adapt. Here, as Wembanyama was supposed to set a pin down for Champagnie, Champagnie's defender ices the screen, and the counter to this is just to go under the screen instead, which basically becomes a screen for Wembanyama, which gives him an open layup at the basket. They also use Wembanyama's gravity as a screener a lot. Here he's going to set a down screen for Devin Vassell, and because Julius Randle wants to stay so attached to Wembanyama and prevent the switch, Vassell will get an easy alley-oop at the rim. And the only way to stop this really is to have either Julius Randle hedge the screen, preventing Vassell from curling off of it, or going under the screen, which could give Vassell an open three. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am a new channel, so if you enjoyed this and you wanted to subscribe, it would help a ton. Your engagement with a comment or a like helps so much in the early phases of this channel. And if you like more of my content, you can go to my channel and look at some of my other videos. I'm going to try to keep making videos like this for the playoffs, so if you want to keep seeing content like this, stick around and more might come out soon. Have a good one, y'all.